Now let's go ahead and use our information about vertices, covertices in order to graph a few ellipses. We want to first identify the center and then use the center and our values of A and B in order to find the vertices and covertices so that we can graph them. While we don't need to graph the foci, again, it's important that we can use the C value in our Pythagorean relation in order to identify the ordered pairs where the foci would be located. And so we're going to look at the equation for this ellipse and first identify where the center is. Since there's no constants in the numerator, we know that our center is going to be at the origin, 0, 0. Now we want to think about which way our ellipse is going to be oriented. Since the largest denominator is underneath the y term, that means we're going to have a vertically oriented major axis. Our major axis will be vertical. Therefore, we know that our vertices will be a number of units above and below the center. A units above and below. So we need to figure out what A is. Well, A is the square root of the denominator underneath y squared. So since A squared equals 25, we know that A equals 5. So from our center, we are going to add and subtract 5 from the y value in order to get our major vertices, which will be located at 0, 5 and 0, negative 5. So let's go ahead and plot these points to get a start on our graph. We have our center located at 0, 0, and then 5 units above and 5 units below for our vertices. Now let's go ahead and find our covertices. If our major axis is vertical, that means our minor axis is horizontal. Therefore, our covertices will be B units, B number of units, left and right of center. Well, our B squared value is 4, meaning that B equals 2. So we'll take our center and we'll add 2 and subtract 2 from the x value, giving us covertices at negative 2, 0 and 2, 0. So we can plot those. And then we have everything that we need in order to graph our ellipse. So we go through and just connect around the vertices. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, we want to identify the center first. Since h is negative 4 and k is a positive 1, our center is located at negative 4, 1. So we can graph our center. Then we want to consider the direction of the major axis. Again, our denominator is largest under the y term, so we know that our major axis is going to be vertical again. So 36 is our a squared term, meaning that a is 6. So our vertices will be 6 units above and below the center. So we take our center, which is negative 4, 1, and we're going to add and subtract 6 from the y value to move up and down, giving us negative 4, 7, and negative 4, negative 5 as our two vertices. Let's go ahead and plot those. 4, 7, and negative 4, negative 5 for our vertices. And then lastly, we need our covertices. Our minor axis is horizontal again. And so that means that b squared equals 16. Therefore, b is 4. 4 units left and right of center. So we take our center, that is negative 4, 1. And since we're going left and right, we'll add and subtract 4 from the x value. So we'll get 0, 1 and negative 8, 1. 0, 1, negative 8, 1. And we just have enough to connect our vertices, giving us our ellipse.